Hey there, how's it going? It is your muscle building coach, Lee Hayward, and today I'm going to take you through a total body workout routine. And this is something that I've been doing for the past several weeks, and I got this program from the Anabolic Reload book. And this was written by Steve Holman. Now, if you're not familiar with Steve, he's been around the iron game for years. He's put out a lot of good books, a lot of good training content. He was one of the guys who helped to bring the positions of flexion style of training mainstream back in the day. That's where I first heard about it. And if you've been following along with my videos and my training series, you know I'm a huge fan of positions of flexion and working the muscles through the mid-range, fully stretched, and peak contraction. Well, today we're going to be doing a total body workout, and the unique thing about this one is we're doing 3 total body workouts per week, but each one is a totally different workout. So there's a lot of training variety over the course of the week. And in addition to that, I also like the set and rep pattern because it's something that I've never focused on before, and that is prioritizing the slow twitch muscle fibers first before you get into your heavy lifting. And by doing this, you're going to pump up the muscles, get a lot of time under tension, a lot of blood flow and muscle activation. And this is going to pre-exhaust the muscles with volume before you get into your heavy lifting. Now, I know some people might say, well, isn't that counterintuitive? But that's actually a good thing if you want to protect your joints and help to minimize injury. I mean, if you can hit muscular failure and get a lot of muscle stimulation without lifting as heavy, that's going to place less strain on the joints, tendons, and ligaments and reduce your risk of injury. So I'm going to get ready now, head to the gym, and take you through workout 1 of the Anabolic Reload Program. And to start things off, I like to do a cardio warm-up on the rowing machine. I usually do this for at least 10 minutes to get a good overall warm-up. And the reason why I choose the rowing machine is because it's a total body exercise. You're going to be getting your lower body, your upper body, your core, just getting some blood flow and circulation throughout all the major muscles. Now, if you don't have a cardio rowing machine at your gym, then you can do another form of cardio instead. Sometimes I'll use the elliptical with the moving handles. Other times I might just go for an easy jog on the treadmill. But bottom line, do at least 10 minutes of cardio as a general total body warm-up in order to prepare your body for the workout that's to follow. And the first exercise of the workout is the leg press. Now we're going to start off with a couple high rep sets. So we're going to do 2 sets of 20 repetitions. So these high rep sets are really going to activate the slow twitch muscle fibers, get a lot of lactic acid and blood flow into the muscles. So then when we go into our heavier lower rep sets afterwards, you're not going to need to lift as heavy in order to reach muscular failure. So for the leg press, I'm going to do 2 lighter sets of 20 reps, followed by 1 heavier set of 8 reps, and then I'm going to do a rest pause set after that with a very short rest break in between. So I'm doing 3 total sets here, but only one of those sets is a heavyweight set. So we're not placing a lot of strain on the joints, tendons, and ligaments, but the muscles themselves will get a lot of stimulation. And now I'm going to do some isolation work for the quadriceps with the leg extension. And for this one, just going to keep it short and simple and do 2 sets of 8 to 10 reps and then do some rest pause reps after that. So just using slow and controlled form, I'm going to rep out to momentary muscular failure and try and hit that between 8 and 10 repetitions. Then rack the weight, rest about 10 to 15 seconds, and do another set in a rest pause fashion. So this way you'll actually be hitting momentary muscular failure twice with each set due to the fact that you're using the rest pause. And it's a great way to get a lot of muscle stimulation without placing excessive strain on the joints, tendons, and ligaments. And moving on in the workout, I'm going to do some hyperextensions to work the hamstrings, glutes, and lower back. Now this is one of my favorite exercises. I like this one because it really helps to strengthen the entire back of your body. I mean, if anybody has lower back problems, this is a great exercise to do to help strengthen that area. So what I'm doing in the video here is start off with a couple high repetition sets where I'm just using body weight and shooting for 20 reps per set. So I'll do 2 sets of 20 to really pump a lot of blood into the muscles and to fatigue those slow twitch muscle fibers. After that, I'm going to do a weighted set where I'm holding a weight plate to my chest, and I'm going to do this until momentary muscular failure, somewhere around 8 to 10 repetitions, and then I'm going to drop the weight plate and continue on in a drop set fashion with just my body weight. So this is a great way to really pump up those muscles, get a lot of stimulation, but at the same time not having to lift excessively heavy weight in the process. Now, if you're new to doing hyperextensions, then just using your body weight alone may be plenty at the start. So just work on increasing the repetitions and building up the volume with your body weight. But as you get more advanced, you may feel that you can handle extra weight, and that's when it'll be appropriate to hold a weight plate to your chest. And next up in the workout, I'm going to do some isolation work for the hamstrings with the lying leg curl. Now for this one, we're going to keep it short and simple, just like we did for the leg extension. Going to do 2 sets of around 8 to 10 repetitions, and then do rest pause reps after that. So I want you to rep out to momentary muscular failure, hitting that somewhere in the 8 to 10 repetition range, then rest about 10 to 15 seconds and perform another set afterwards in a rest pause fashion. And by doing this, you're going to get a lot of muscle stimulation in a short period of time. And that's one of the things you're going to find about the Anabolic Reload Program, is that it does combine a lot of exercises and a lot of training stimulation, but it does so very efficiently so that you can get a complete total body workout in a single training session. And working our way down the legs, going to do the standing calf raise. And for this one, I'm going to start with 2 sets of 20 repetitions to fatigue the slow twitch muscle fibers and help pump some blood into the calves. Then I'm going to do 1 heavy set of 8 to 10 repetitions, followed by a rest pause set. So only going to do 3 total sets here, but that's going to be enough to stimulate the calves to get a killer pump and again spur on some new growth. Now you'll notice when I'm doing calf raises, I really like to go through a full range of motion. So purposely let your heels sink all the way down, and then try and come up on the balls of your feet and squeeze your calves hard at the top, and emphasize that with each repetition. By going through a full range of motion, you're going to make your calf raises a lot more effective, even if you have to lift lighter weight. Now, one of the things you're going to find as you're going through this full range of motion is sometimes your feet may slip on the foot plate, especially as you get into those higher rep sets. If that happens, I want you to just stop the set momentarily, reset your feet, and continue on. It's okay to do this, and I encourage you to do this rather than trying to do like a half-ass rep while your feet are slipping, because you're not going to get the same quality of contraction in the calves if your toes are slipping on that foot plate. So make sure that you have a secure grip as you're doing your calf raises, and that will give you a better quality workout. Now we're going to get into doing some work for the upper body with the dumbbell bench press. And when I'm doing a total body workout, I usually start with the legs first, because I find that that is the most difficult, the most challenging, so I like to get it out of the way when I'm fresh and then go on to the upper body training afterwards. So right now I'm doing the dumbbell bench press. Going to start off with 2 sets of 20 repetitions in order to pre-fatigue the pecs and to get a lot of blood flow and stimulation there. And then I'm going to do 2 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions with heavier weight to really focus on working the fast twitch muscle fibers. And what you'll find is by pre-fatiguing the pecs with the high rep sets first, you're not going to need to lift as heavy with the lower rep sets afterwards. And this is actually going to be good because you're going to get more muscle fatigue with less strain on the joints, tendons, and ligaments. And moving on in the workout, going to do the Pec Deck Fly to isolate the chest. Now for this exercise, going to do 2 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions, followed by a rest pause set afterwards. And what you're going to find with the Anabolic Reload Program is when we're doing 2 or more exercises for the same body part, it's usually only on the first exercise that we're going to do the high repetition 20 rep sets to pre-exhaust the slow twitch muscle fibers. When we get into the succeeding exercises and the succeeding sets afterwards, we're only going to do 8 to 10 repetitions plus a rest pause set afterwards. And this is going to make the workout more efficient, but it's still going to allow you to hit momentary muscular failure with less weight because we've already pre-exhausted those slow twitch muscle fibers with the high repetition sets first. And now we're going to do some work for the lats with the wide grip lat pull down. And for this one, I'm going to do 2 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions plus rest pause reps afterwards. Now, as you're doing the lat pull down, try and keep your form nice and strict as you're doing the movement. I like to focus on bringing the bar down to my upper chest. So for the first few repetitions, I'll usually actually touch my upper chest with the bar. And then as the lats start to fatigue, what you're going to find is you're not going to be able to pull the bar all the way down. So I'll probably be like a couple inches shy of touching my chest, and then with each repetition, the range of motion is going to get less and less as you're not going to be able to pull the bar all the way down due to fatigue. When you get to the point where you're only pulling it down to around eye level or maybe around your forehead, then you know that, hey, you've done enough stimulation for the lats at that point and it's time to end the set. And next up, going to do some work for the rear delts and upper back with the bent over lateral raise. And for this exercise, going to do 2 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions plus rest pause reps afterwards. Now, I really like this exercise because it helps to keep your shoulders in balance and proportion. And very often what happens is the front delts tend to get overstimulated in comparison to the rear delts. So it's always a good idea to purposely include rear delt work as part of your training routine. And by doing this, you're going to help to prevent future shoulder problems such as rotator cuff issues and shoulder impingements that often come about because of an imbalance in development in your shoulder muscles. And continuing on with our shoulders, I'm going to do the Dumbbell Upright Row. And for this one, I'm going to start off with 2 high rep sets of 20 repetitions, followed by 1 set of 8 to 10 reps plus rest pause reps afterwards. Now, the upright row is a controversial exercise. A lot of people find that this movement is hard on their shoulder joints, and I think the main reason for this is because they're very often doing it with a barbell and usually lifting too heavy. But if you use dumbbells, this is going to allow a lot more freedom of movement with your hand positions, and if you lighten up the weight and increase the repetitions, then you're going to get more into muscular exhaustion rather than placing strain on the joints, tendons, and ligaments. And since I've been doing my upright rows this way, I've been getting a lot of good muscle stimulation throughout my traps and upper back, and I find that it's a very effective exercise. So if you haven't been a fan of upright rows until now, then I suggest you give this variation a try and see how your body responds to it. And to finish things off, going to do 2 sets of side lateral raises to isolate the medial head of the deltoid. Now with this exercise, I find it's better to use lighter weight, stricter form, and really focus on isolating the muscles rather than trying to lift too heavy. And I've been guilty of this in the past. I mean, when I used to do this exercise before, I would use a bit of swinging, a bit of momentum, and try and lift heavier weight. But I found that since I've focused on quality over quantity, I've actually gotten better results. So even if it means using lighter weight, even if it means using a shorter range of motion, I try and take the momentum out of the movement and just focus purely on muscular contraction rather than simply trying to get the weights up. Those of you who've been following along with my Fit Over 40 journey know that I've been trying to lean out a bit over the past couple of months, and I'm starting to get a little bit of abdominal definition showing, so I'm pleased with that, and I'll keep you posted with my progress in my future videos.
So there you go. That's a total body workout from the Anabolic Reload Program. Like I said, I've been following this myself now for the past several weeks, and I really enjoy it. So in my next video, I'm going to be posting another total body workout. Going to be using different exercises than what we did for this workout, so you want to stay tuned for that. And if you'd like to check out the Anabolic Reload Program, I have a link to it down in the video description below. Just click on that and you can head on over and pick up a copy for yourself. So there you go. That is the workout. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please feel free to post them down in the comment section below. I will chat with you down there. And if you haven't already done so, make sure to subscribe to the Total Fitness Bodybuilding YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell so that you can stay up to date with all my latest videos. And I will talk to you in my next video. Take care. Over and out.